So Elon Musk had a crushing loss in Wisconsin. He's lost about half his wealth in Tesla stock this past few months, and people in the White House don't like him. That's the subject of today's video. I want to give you an inside look of what's going on with this guy, and there's a lot to talk about. So let's jump right in. This is the Wall Street Journal. It says inside Elon Musk's shock and awe months in the White House, and there's a lot of reporting what's going on in White House, what's going on in Doge, because basically when you're around all of these people in DC, people are going to see things, right? People are going to record things, people are going to leak things, and you can't keep this stuff quiet, especially with these kind of public figures. You also have the headline like this: Tesla's investors suddenly terrified as they realize Musk has dug their grave. Basically, a lot of people, I mean, they can see the writing on the wall. And Tesla's done for. Elon is a loose cannon, and we're just waiting for this thing to completely implode. The basic gist of it is that Elon, Trump, like all of these kind of people, they're all self-serving individuals. And how long can a ship full of self-serving individuals, right? All these greedy people who are in it for themselves, and they're sailing on the Titanic, how long can this last, right? Because once the ship really starts to sink, they start chucking, each other off the boat, looking for that last lifeboat. Essentially, that's what it is. And then you got this Wall Street's, second looking Musk as well, thinking, okay, maybe the scam is up. Wall Street slowly wakes up to Elon Musk's Tesla brand damage. I mean, they all know he's an idiot. I mean, they're not stupid. They know. But what they also know is that they can use, Musk and Trump's stupidity and make money off other people who are even more stupid. I mean, this is basically a greater fool theory. All I have to do is just find someone else even more dumb to buy a dumb asset. And I know I'm a little bit mean this episode, but I just have to get some stuff off my chest, because when I read through all this stuff, it's like crazy. Wall Street keeps lowering their estimates on Tesla stock. You can see this here. So the first quarter estimate, how much they're going to make, it keeps going down because, frankly, their sales are in the toilet. This is Tesla's 62% sales plunge opens gap for German car makers to fill. I mean, you get these numbers all over Europe. I think personally they're probably going to fudge the numbers on the North American numbers. That means Tesla, but we'll see how that goes. Because even now, this was just reported today, Tesla's software engineering head is said to depart, EV maker. This person's been an employee for a long time. I think it's like double-digit years. Yeah, 13 years. So it's since 2017. And again, the software head. So they work on the infotainment, information security, and over-the-air software updates. Boy, that's a pretty big one. As well as cloud servers and manufacturing systems. But Musk has been bleeding employees from Tesla for quite a while. Insiders are selling, and so basically he's himself is bailing ship on Tesla. He doesn't want you to sell the stock, right? Because he still needs to get his pay package, dump his shares, and move on to the AI and other things that he wants to do, move on to the Twitters. And he just tries to keep the charade up that he works at Tesla. I told you guys before that the New York pension fund is suing because they're saying Tesla's lying about Elon's participation in Tesla. But basically, Tesla's a big Ponzi at this point. It's been like that for a while, but it's becoming more pronounced. As you can see, the guy is busy with Doge. Any normal company would have fired him by now. It's also really interesting because when you read some of the inside accounts, you realize, oh my God, this is insane. It's like a one of those dramas of dysfunctional offices. I guess you could call it a mix of comedy and horror at the same time. So, for example, this is in the Wall Street Journal. They describe how Musk was not getting along with the postmaster general, and Trump wanted to make the post office private, have him make money, etc. Like, I'll read an example. You'll hear it. It says, Trump had grown annoyed with DeJoy, that's the postmaster general of the post office, and wanted the postal service private and profitable. So he planned to fire him the following week, the people said. But Monday, DeJoy announced his resignation effective immediately, right? So it's like the ton of turmoil in, personalities don't get along, you're not being effective. It's like Trump literally treats this like the Apprentice game show, White House edition, right? And who's going to be voted off the island this week. Now, in my opinion, when I read through this stuff, I think chances are they're going to try to use Elon Musk as a fall guy. And Elon Musk, does he see it or not see it? Who knows? I do know Musk does spend a lot of time on social media, so he does see the said articles, but is he putting the pieces together? I don't know. You have to ask Musk, because I know he's a bit out of his mind because he's always on some sort of substance, doing weird things. For example, here's another example from this. It says, in the months since Trump took office, Musk has alienated some of Trump aides with his chaotic approach to his role, right? So people don't like Musk. I mean, and I've seen this multiple reports, and it's not hard to see that Musk has a very odd personality. Worried Republicans are concerned his unpopularity could cost them future elections, right? So politically, like even if, and I say this several times, like we can have disagreements on policies, et cetera. And, Republicans did win some offices, right? There are Republicans there. So it's not like they all lose elections. And so these people are professional politicians. They always like to act like they're not, but they are. And so they know Musk hurts their image. And so that's going to be the question of like, how much do we use Musk and when is it time to dump the guy? And I think the Wisconsin loss is huge. And, this is where you probably start to see the rifts. And again, you're talking about a bunch of self-serving individuals all in one boat. And the boat's the Titanic. And there's only so many lifeboats and maybe none of them make it to life, but we'll see. It also says here, worried Republicans are concerned his unpopularity could cost them future elections as it did in the Wisconsin this week. Through it all, Musk has retained his status as among the most influential advisors in the Trump White House, producing shock and awe for a shock and awe president and using his unpaid perch to reshape the federal bureaucracy, punish critics, and serve as a key interlocutor to Trump. Basically, what it is that if you want to give Trump ideas, you go through Elon. You introduce Elon to stuff. You hope Elon tweets that out, whatever. Then Trump will see said Elon's tweet, and he'll tweet it out, add it to his speech. Like that's how these people operate. It's not smart or organized like you think it would be. Because oftentimes this is how it plays out. Trump will make some sort of, statement, some sort of announcement, and then all the Fox News minions and stuff like that, then they act like it's like some master plan. But when you read sort of like how this stuff is done, no, it's not really. It's just like, think of it this way. This is the best way to describe it. You know that these people have money. You know that these people have power. And so you have like all of these sort of intern type of personalities that are constantly pitching ideas. Hey, I got this great idea to get rich. Hey, I got this great idea to get rich. Hey, I got this great idea to get rich. And they're just constantly bombarded that stuff. And so if you want your idea on how to get rich for yourself to get to Trump, you go through Musk and you have to convince Musk and probably have some drinks and do whatever substance they want to do. I mean, that's how this thing works. It's all based on sort of this kind of constant hustle culture. And if you guys have ever been to this thing, like Hollywood is very much like that. If you guys know like how movies are pitched, made through producers, be it several meetings over drinks, etc. That's business, right? And effectively the White House is run like a business where if you get FaceTime with any of the key people, you got to pay money. That's how it's done. A mafia business is the way you could describe it. I mean, nothing's like shocking here, but for those of you who have not been in this kind of world, it might seem strange to you where everyone's always pitching ideas all the time and you got to figure out the key people to go through. It also says here, the president has tried to smooth over cracks in relationships between Musk and the rest of his team. I mean, people don't like Musk. After an early March cabinet meeting where several cabinet secretaries aired grievances about Musk, we talked about this one before, looked like Rubio and Musk had a falling out. There were others that were involved as well. But basically, Musk is taking too much power and people don't necessarily like it. This was the key one I thought was interesting. It says, the president pulled aside Chief of Staff Susie Wiles and told her to improve relationships between the agencies and the man he empowered to cut them, right? So Wiles is like the big mama, the big babysitter that's supposed to keep everyone together and working in the same direction. That's Wiles right there, if you don't know. It also says here, Wiles needed to manage Musk, Trump said, making it clear that he backed Musk's government cutting zeal, but sympathized with complaints from his cabinet. While Wiles now has 2 long meetings a week with Musk, people briefed on the meeting said. So basically, she's his babysitter, right? Wiles babysits Musk, and who knows what they're talking about in those 2 long meetings. And this is always the stuff that's quite interesting, and I'm sure there's going to be movies later. The other thing that I thought was fascinating was they were saying that many of the staffers are trying to figure out who Musk is, and so they're all reading his book. If you want to hear my thoughts on the Musk book, I did a review on that. You can also read my book, which I think is a better book, but read them both. I have no problem with people reading books. I think it's a good thing and a good way to learn. I'll just say this about the Musk book. They tell you exactly who he is if you understand how to read it. I know that sometimes the people who are sycophants, who love Musk, they don't really understand the book that well. I get that. But if you actually read it, yeah, it does tell you who he is. And he's not a likable person. It depends how well you know how to read. Stephen Miller is also part of the White House, and I didn't know this. This part I didn't know. I guess him and Musk get along. That part I didn't know, but it kind of makes sense because you ever see Stephen Miller on TV? He's one of the more Nazi type people. Just another way to put it. He comes across as like a really, really creepy guy. I guess his wife is running around the office, and sometimes she'll use Musk's name to like sort of get people to do things. So it's kind of interesting. You have a couple different factions, the way that I understand it, in the White House. So there's sort of like the Muskie faction and there's the Trumpy faction. Now, according to this, though, I thought it was interesting. I guess Musk and Trump do get along. They like to hang out on weekends, go at the golf course or wherever they're hanging out in the White House, and just complain about conspiracy theories, and complain about foreign aid and complain about whatever and TV coverage, that kind of stuff, and media. like they're that same kind of person. So the stuff they complain about on social media is I guess the stuff they complain about when they're together. So that's who they are. On top of that, I'm talking about Musk and Tesla. JP Morgan just announced they think the US is going to go into recession. And so, if you're Musk and you're a consumer-based, company and all your good people are leaving, so you got no new designs coming out and you yourself can't do it. And I want to make it really clear, because for those people who love Musk and think he's an absolute genius, well, if that were true, he wouldn't need anyone to work for him theoretically, and he could design all the cars himself. He could, do all the key things, but he can't. He can't. He has to hire the people to do it, and that's why I'm showing you guys. People are quitting, and the insiders are selling, and so he knows it. He knows it's up, right? The scam is up, and you have the competitors moving in very, very quickly. You also got a recession where consumers aren't going to be buying those high priced cars, and so then what's in it for like Musk and Trump? Why are they doing this stuff? There's a couple key articles that came out recently this past week. This one here basically is, if you heard, like, because people are asking, why would Trump put tariffs on a place like Vietnam, Cambodia, etc. Well, Trump wants to build golf courses in said places. This was coming from Reuters, March 28, 2025. Trump organization eyes multi-billion-dollar project in Vietnam amid tariff risk. And then Musk is also involved in Vietnam as well, basically getting Starlink there, right? And so, there's massive conflicts of interest with these guys. And essentially what they're doing is, hey, I'll spend a bit of time in the White House, try to secure my future. Who cares if it's illegal, because I got the White House and pardons on my side. So that's it. Trump wants to do golf courses and such and hotels, whatever, in Vietnam. And then also has business dealings with Saudi Arabia. So that's why, like, when the markets are crashing and he announces his tariffs and he runs off to the golf course, Trump is out looking for himself, right? He's out to protect his family's pocketbook. So, build some golf course, get that golf league going on with the Saudi money. And I guess there was talk that Trump with the Saudis wanted to get some sort of NFL team. I didn't know that. I didn't hear about the NFL thing before, but it makes sense. That's what they're doing. They're business people, but they're not business people in the sense of like, hey, we're gonna help everyone in America do great, and we're all gonna bring you jobs. They're more like, hey, how can I use the White House to enrich myself? And that's who these people are. So I just wanted to give you an inside look of what's going on. If you want to read the article, you can. It's in the Wall Street Journal. It's a pretty good one, but there's a lot of stuff to cover, and we talk about it every day. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next video.